Good morning. It's Vijay here. Today is 22nd September 2025. Welcome to yet another episode of Pre-Market Commentary. The title, what I have given today is Fun Day Ahead. I'll tell you why it is a fun day ahead because today two important things are hovering over the market, one positive, one not so positive. The positive is from today, you will see the GST rates come into the new GST rates come into play, which means lots of commodities, lots of companies will have to reduce the rates, commodities will come down, our daily needs products will all come down primarily because of the reduction of rate from 18 to 5% and sometimes to nil. Luxury goods will not come down so much, and you have a lot of anticipation because today is also the beginning of Navratra. I wish every one of my viewers a very happy Navratri, is what we call down south. Navratra is what's the north part. Anyway, that is not important. What is important is let the cheer begin, let the dandiya begin, and dandiya will be between the bulls and the bears. And so you will have the next few days lots of fun both on the market and off the market. Let's come to the market. When I said fun in terms of what is it which will uh, drive the markets in the next few days and specifically today is the positive news of the GST rates coming down. Now, while it's very good for the consumers, I feel that it may not be that great for the industry. Uh, Generally, the economists have been there's a consensus among economists which say that lower taxes will bring in a lot more volumes. Generally, that is true, but not always because who is the consumer and what is the state of the consumer is what we should know. I think lots of consumers are highly indebted, so any savings is welcome for them. Whether they'll go out and spend that savings is a moot point because they're already indebted. So I think we'll have to take this with a little bit of caution. It's very good for the consumer and especially very good for the non-indebted consumer. In fact, there's a Kotak India strategy today. It says if GST cut is equal to 15% growth, it is not true because it's unlikely to happen that way. And, savings will increase. That's what Kotak says. I agree with them. So one has to be very careful in how we go ahead and buy stocks which are linked to GST. There's another very interesting news item which I saw today that Tata Motors, well, all the many companies have already reduced the prices of their vehicles, for instance, to now GST rates. In fact, they've done it about 2 3 weeks ago, but the inventory is still lying, it looks like, because lying in the showrooms or in the godowns, because the consumer is getting more and more indebted, especially in the urban areas, not so much so in the rural areas. So rural area specific products should do well. The urban area products may not do as great as the market is expecting. Now, Tata Motors came up with a new festival offer where they not only bring that GST reduction they are giving, plus they're giving up to 50 to 60,000 rupees additional discount on their cars. Now, why would anybody do it, especially when the GST has come down? Is because there is a lot of supply glut. The supply glut is there, and therefore they are reducing. So one has to be very careful in how we approach, especially the consumer durables and even consumer non-durables which are focused on urban area. So we have been very careful in picking and choosing. In autos, we have Ashok Leyland, which is not really a consumer company. They don't make vehicles for the consumers. Their target segment is completely different, and they are in defense also. We are also having some exposure in Samvardhana Motherson. Again, they are global, so we are not so concerned about what's happening to the car industry here. So that is as far as the GST is concerned. So I would have a word of caution. Then the fun is also on what Trump said over the weekend. He talked of 1 lakh, fee to be paid for by everyone who's now applying fresh for H-1B visa. A lot of confusion, but at the end of the day, it's very clear that only fresh H-1B visa applications will have to pay a fee of 1 lakh. Now, promptly, the industry has come overnight, and you can see it in all the channels where they talk of whether it will not get affected. We will not get affected at all. Now, that is a little bit interesting because you see, while it is true in terms of sheer numbers, that while India has got the lion's share of H1B visas, about 72%, but most of them are from non-IT companies like McDonald's and your Amazon and so on and so forth. So TCS is the only company which is there in top 10, and there are many smaller companies, even though they may not be in the top 10 in terms of now H1B visas, but as a proportion of their headcount, it looks it will affect them, in my opinion. In fact, I think companies like Tech Mahindra will be most exposed. Then the L&T technology companies will be affected. Persistent is supposed to be affected, but the companies are coming and saying that no, we won't get affected at all. For instance, Infosys has got only about 2,500 H1B visas, whereas they're it's just 1% of their workforce. So on the face of it, it doesn't look, but all the brokerage houses are negative on IT. They feel that it will get affected. Now that is where the fun is. We are not getting into the mainline IT stocks, because as it is, their performance is not great and is unlikely to be great. And with any incremental cost, that will bring their margins down. So that is as far as I saw. That CLSA I saw Bank of America Securities, all of them are negative on this 1 lakh thing. So what is there to watch today? I think the positive is for the consumer durables as far as GST is concerned, and consumer non-durables which are affected positively. The negative is the IT sector. So today, Indian ministers have gone to US to restart the trade negotiations in US. They've already, actually, the US trade team came last week, so now they're going there to for reciprocal talks. I am quite confident that something good will come out of it, but maybe from 50 it may come down to 25. As far as the tariff is concerned, I am not sure whether it will go below 25. So, if what are the cues this morning? Markets closed very well as last week across the board. Advanced decline was good, Nifty was good, Bank Nifty was good. So, by and large, even though the GIFT Nifty is talking of a 90% drop, the markets may fight back, is my opinion. So, but there could also be sell on news, which is sell on good news in case of GST related stocks, or it could be buy on bad news, which could be related to IT stocks. I'm trying to steer away from that sectors which are getting affected either positively or negatively. We go into regular reliances of the world, our HDFC Bank. That is the kind of trading I plan to do today, but I'll be a little bit cautious. I would like to see, because a lot of emotional trading is going to happen today, both positive and negative. So what else is there? Stock specific, Lupin may be under pressure because they got some four observations. NBCC and Hudco may be on positive side. We hold Hudco because they've signed up an agreement for about 117 crores. So Crompton Greaves, again, they've received some. They've got some project from MP, so there may be positivity there. Then what else is there? Yeah, by and large, these are the stocks which are likely to be affected, or rather be in focus today. Zydus Life also may be negatively affected. We trade in Zydus Life, but we don't have any investment exposure there, because again, some reason as far as the US FDA is concerned. So today will be an interesting day, as I believe, what I call the fun day. So whatever you do, I hope it is successful. Thank you for joining me.